So is it fair? This new way of obtaining a car, I think, is maybe the best way to put it. You also could say it's another way to lease a car. Now, if you go over to fair.com, the most it'll let you do is explore cars. You can't actually secure anything. You need to download the app. You need the app for pretty much the rest of the process. All right, so let's get into this. I downloaded the Android app. They also have it for the iPhone. Additionally, this is not sponsored by fair.com. This is truly my experience, and I'm going to show you everything that I go through. Now, warning, this is not for the faint of heart. You definitely have to be open to the idea of releasing your credit, which you'll see here, and you also have to trust that they're going to hold your social security number and all your private information securely. Right? I have no visibility to that. I don't know what their IT structure is, how secure anything is. I'm trusting. And the best way to manage that risk is through the 3 credit agencies. What you need to do is download the apps for TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and then you can freeze your credit and release it. Now, the Fair app uses TransUnion. I told them it would have been nice to know this in advance because I kind of hit that wall. So you definitely want to release the TransUnion app. It takes no more than a few seconds. And once you got that cleared, then you want to go through this process, set it up. In summary, because I didn't know this, it took about 1 week to get resolved. I also had to chat multiple times with various folks on the Fair app, and that integration of the chat is quite well done. I'll say this, 50% of the people that helped me were efficient in this area. Some of them I could tell were confused with the process, and there's nothing more frustrating when they think you're confused when in fact you're like, no, I'm living this. I know exactly what's going on, guys. And it's kind of an odd feeling. But anyway, we got through it. The people on the phone were amazing. So there's definitely some growing pains in this area. They are a newer company, and this is to be expected. So let's go through the requirements of what's required to short-term lease a vehicle through Fair. You need the email confirmation, again, the credit check, 3-month paycheck stubs, which I had to provide, proof of address like a utility bill, social security number is something you're also going to have to pony up. And definitely, as you go through this process, one thing I highly recommend is if you have a any kind of memory manager or app manager that kills an app, at least for the time that you're looking for vehicles and things like that, and make sure that this app has the ability to run in the background without getting automatically canceled. The chat integration is very well done, and you can minimize this app while you're doing other things, and you'll get a Fair logo that will show up when they chat you back, and an audible tone as well. All right, so now let's get into the app itself and the functionality. Now, what they do is they contact you, let you know the high-end dollar amount that you can go up to. In this case, I can go up to $899 a month if I were so inclined, and I am not. So I'm keeping this on the low end. Okay, along with the price, you can also zero in your location, either current location, or it can pull it from your home address. All right, so now we're down to the price. The price, you can pull either the low end down or the high end up. You can put in a range. Now, in my case, I don't want to spend any more than $250. So what I'm going to do is obviously go from the low end and draw this down to $250. Now, there are some weaknesses to the search, which is kind of painful at times, but let's go through the other options. You can buy cars, you have favorites, your account information, your order when you place it, payments, documents, promotions, frequently asked questions, submit a bug, and sign out. Those are your main menu items. I went out to Twitter and found a promotion and had that applied, $100 off the start payment, which is great. Now, just about every one of these options comes up with this kind of a message because I don't have a car yet, right? I can't set up a payment because I haven't secured a car. So let's shop cars. All right, so in the shopping car section, you have the location, the dollar amount you're looking for, and then you scroll up. They have all cars by brand, shop luxury vehicles, green, truck SUV, specialty, and Uber. So even if you're an Uber driver, you can also go through these. And the last one is by dealership. All right, so now let's go to the top of the list and select all cars. I found this was the most helpful. Here in the settings in the search area, You have different areas. So there's the monthly price, sort by, they've got a car ranking. I wanted low to high. You can see right there, 945 vehicles in my area. There's the color, there's the mileage range. These are used cars. You can dial that in the years, select it, how old the car. Here's at the top of the list. So one thing you'll see is the price of $180 a month. You can also swipe. This gives you a better sense of where it's at. For some reason, in this first screen, you can't tell where something is. Now, this is just one way to view the pictures. If you click on them, it'll take you to the a very detailed 2 of 17. So many of the dealerships that this is through have a lot of pictures. You can also pinch and zoom like that and get a lot more detail. So I found this experience was actually quite nice. Okay, back to the main summary page. Here you can see the dollar amount, some other items. What is this fair thing about? Fair price guarantee. When you see the fair price guarantee badge next to a car, it means that you won't find a lower payment with a comparable 3-year loan. Otherwise, they'll match it. Okay, so continuing on, the monthly payment of $180 is a nice round number, but if you want the actual, you do have to toggle that tax. The start payment is the amount you'll never get back. That's just to have the privilege to secure the car. It only goes down to a certain point. All the cars are different. Obviously, the more expensive cars, more money. $539 for the Kia Soul. I'll never see that money again, but then you just pay a monthly payment after that. Okay, and goes through another summary of what's included, overview, gray titanium, exterior, and it goes through some of the other Kia Souls that are similar. So again, we were searching it within this car. It's showing you other cars that kind of fall in the same category, but you don't know where they are, just so you know. They're hopefully near you. Vehicle warranty, roadside assistance, other things that are included. They only give you 10,000 miles to start, or you can buy in advance more miles, and that's where the monthly payment goes up. We don't put that many miles on our car, so I'm keeping mine at 10,000 that is. Fair insurance, they offer insurance. I found that Geico was actually cheaper. So here they kind of show you what some of the fair plans are. I would say this, when you get to this point, chat with them, and in your area, they'll tell you what the minimums are. So these are just kind of, I think, guidelines, because my actual requirements were a bit lower than that. Okay, and then you can preview the contract. There is a 3-day no-risk return. Again, that's from signing the documents electronically, which, by the way, is amazing. It's so easy to sign for a car. Was pretty scary, actually. I wish all dealerships had it that easy to sign for a vehicle. Now, we'll see. I believe that's all the paperwork I need to sign. I may need to sign something at the dealership, but we'll see when we pick it up. All right, let's look at some of the other cars you can choose from. These are more on the high end, right? So the Alfa Romeo 2017, $850 a month. You could change vehicles. That's the cool part about this. It's a month-to-month service. So I could then, now again, you don't get that start payment back, so I would be spending $3,300 I'll never get back, or I could in fact change vehicles. Let's say it's in the summertime, I want to get a convertible. I could totally do that. But again, you're going to walk from that start payment. But it is kind of cool to have the flexibility. So it's just nice options. You'll see Bentleys, Cadillac, BMW. Here I click on Bentley. They really aren't, there aren't any in my area, right? Again, or it's well out of my league. So we'll just kind of go through, and it's alphabetically sorted here. We've got Audi, Chevy, Dodge, Ferrari. I clicked on that because I'm like, hey, are there any Ferraris? Same thing. Either I can't afford it, or there really isn't a Ferrari in my area. Bentley, same thing. Scroll through. The one thing that is irritating about this list, it's cool until every time you drill into something, when you go back, it doesn't remember where you were, so you have to scroll all the way down. Here's Jaguar. There are Jags, so I could dip into one of these if I wanted to, but in this case, I don't. Now, because I love giving feedback to app developers, I let them know how irritating it is. On this screen, I have no idea where anything is. The other thing is, you can't tell how many miles away it is. I have to see how I had to get into and then there you can see the location. It's in San Jose. I'm in Southern California. I'd have to drive 400 miles to go get this car. So that part they need to work on. They admit it, right? So you have to be patient. It helps if you know exactly what kind of car you want, because it gets a little bit better on the search, but it's not amazing. Here's the Lambo. I wasn't expecting one there that I could afford or that even exists. But again, it's really cool. It's nice to have these kind of options. Land Rover, I like those too. But just to give you an idea of what the pricing is, and I'm assuming this is for everybody, not just me with my credit or whatever. I can go up to $899. So here's the Evoque. Yeah, and there's the start payment. So again, I can bounce it up or bounce it down a little bit. I didn't see where it was really saving me that much on the monthly. It does reduce the monthly, but you actually end up paying more. The way I saw it, it just didn't make sense to me. So I passed on that. That one was in Mission Viejo, by the way, much closer to me. All right, so after extensive searching, I locked in on the Nissan Versa Note. This one in particular is what I went with. So it's a 2017 Versa. It has 31,000 miles. It's got a backup camera, a lot of safety features. And we scroll down here, the start payment, I'll do it with tax, we'll turn that on. I ended up reducing that down. Plus I've got $100 off, so it's $439. And this is in Huntington Beach, much easier for me to get to. Wasn't easy, took me a couple of days poking around the system and trying to get a better understanding of it. But as you can see here, when I run the numbers, I really didn't see where there's any advantage. I guess if you really wanted a smaller monthly payment, but I found actually that I ended up paying more. And let's take a look at that 3-day return policy. We'll pull that up so you can check that out. The one thing it's from signing. So it's not like you can go pick up the car. I mean, if you have the opportunity to pick up the car the same day or within a couple of days, but from my understanding, it's from the time you sign the contracts. I don't know if it means the one that I signed digitally or the one I might need to sign at the dealership. I'm not at that point yet. I'll let you know in a follow-up video. Okay, so this is the actual footage of me securing this vehicle. So you're gonna see me click next, and here we go. We have to verify that email address. So even though I think I've entered this before, they're gonna email me a code and I'll verify it from there. All right, so I'm gonna try to share as much as I can. I do have to delete out some items, so bear with me. It does go through a confirmation process. Once I'm confirmed, I review the vehicle. Again, it's gonna show you kind of a recap of the monthly payment, the start payment, price with or without taxes, the vehicle details, location to pick it up. And again, this is like high-level summary here. There is more detail. You just have to start the order. All right, let's start the order. So now you have payment method you need to set up. You can log into your bank, link to a credit card or debit card or Google Pay. All right, so once everything's entered, you just go ahead and click proceed. Goes through a thinking process, confirming payment details, etc. And here's your order. So the next thing they do is they have an order specialist at Fair that reaches out to the dealership to make sure everything's still in order. Until then, you need to provide and make sure you're ready for car insurance, review your order, contracts are signed, everything's ready to go, and essentially just scheduling is really the next thing that I need to do. And at about 30 minutes of placing the order, a specialist from Fair reached out to me. Also, the app had a notification that went off, so that's nice, everything works there. And my next steps are to enter the insurance information. So once directed, go ahead and scroll through the order and key in the insurance details. You can either use the Fair insurance. I found that my Geico insurance was cheaper by a decent amount, so I went ahead and went with my own existing coverage. And scrolling down towards the bottom, you'll see they have the Fair Insurance or Provide Your Own. When you provide your own, just click on that button that's in white, Provide My Insurance, and key in your insurance details here. Once you click Next, they'll provide you with some additional information that could be helpful for your insurance company. And I believe because some time can pass, they do another authorization of your credit. So I went ahead and made sure it was released, then clicked Authorize. All right, we're just about done. Hang in there. Digitizing the paperwork. And man, I'm telling you, the paperwork is amazingly fast. They did such a great implementation of the way the signatures work. Very impressive. They go over the legal information. Once you confirm, then what you do is you actually sign. So I am hiding this for obvious reasons. You submit. Once you're done with your signature, my name's not that long. I don't know what's taking so long. You click submit. It then takes you to the start payment. And again, this is the amount you're not going to get back. And then they talk about the auto payment. So this is the part that will be automatically charged, due in 30 days. Then I go and review and sign the documents. Now here you have the customer acknowledgement form, the fair agreement, vehicle lease warranty. You've got the furnished insurance, roadside assistance, vehicle plan, and the used vehicle disclosure. And that's it. Now, I did hide a lot of each one of those contracts. It shows you a bunch of detail within there, so I didn't go through all that. But it is incredibly fast. I was able to sign all of those documents digitally. I did review some of them, but it's all fairly standard stuff. And it took no more than like a couple of minutes. It was maybe less. It was really just impressive. So there are 3 things that if they fix, they'd really just be firing on all cylinders. A little car reference for you. The first one is the search engine. It'd be nice if it were by distance, so I could look at just cars within a 50-mile radius. I don't want to, drive up to the Bay Area to get a car, so that's a downside, which is easily fixed. The next is with the chat. So I found that the people on the chat, it was 50-50, hit or miss. Highly recommend just calling the number. Everyone I called was very knowledgeable and very helpful. It was much more efficient. And the last item I'd like to see improved is the credit check warning. So before you're going to do a credit check on me, warn me, let me know so I can release it. This is way too many apps do this or websites. Just let me know which credit agency you use. Let me release it, and then we can move on from there, because I burned a full week while that whole thing was trying to get settled in. Now, ending on the positives, they have a very wide selection. As you start to get into the nicer cars, I found, at least in my taste, I found it a bit expensive. So on the low end though, I was impressive. Like this type of car for the price that we got, I'm very comfortable with that. That sounds like, hey, I'm getting a fair deal. That is fair. Hey, there we go. But as you creep up and you get into the nicer cars, I just kind of, for me, don't find there's a lot of value there. So let me know what your thoughts are. I will be picking up the car. I'll film as much as I possibly can. And thank you for watching this entire video. Take care. Bye.